Good evening. Guten Abend, mein Freund. Meine Freundin? Did I say it in German? I don't remember. Alright, so we created a new one with ChatGPT, right? I don't use ChatGPT a lot in my everyday life. I like classical music. I'm playing some video games. I play guitar. I like to play guitar. I was a musician. I'm learning piano again. I like getting outside and I like traveling all over the country. But we're getting into tech, so we're going to use what's available. I did create a new project, and this is going to be a new thing for me because I'm going to learn as I go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? I was looking at Python. I'm going to have to learn Python. There's the language of Python. That's in the making. I'm going to have to learn Linux. All right, here's a hospital floor. This is what we're going to do, or what we're going to attempt. Now remember, there's security issues that I have not looked at. There's going to be medical equipment I've not looked at. I'm going to come into a lot of bumps where I don't know what I'm doing, but that's the reason we're doing this, right? I can't just walk to a piano and be Mozart. I have to start small and build. I'm looking at this in a... All right, so let's look and see what we got. Again, I was going to do the one where I had the boss talk to us, but instead, we put it into a network, a blueprint. All right, so let's look at our blueprint. I think I like the other one a little bit better, but we can do either one. All right, so let's start here. Network infrastructure design specifications. Hospital upper floor, renovation deployment plan. To Ryan, junior network engineer. That's me. Date, June 15th. Director of Information Technology. Second floor network infrastructure. Let's document operational and structural designs for implementing the network for newly renovated second floor. Very good. I use practical scenarios. Telecommunications closet. Establish an intermediate distribution frame, IDF, right? IDF. That's not the Israeli. Anyway, Defense Force. I was a history buff, so I was just going to make a joke because I taught AP US history. Establish an intermediate distribution frame, network closet on the second floor to house the active distribution components. All equipment must be rack mounted, labeled, and powered, okay? So we're going to need some racks here via a centralized, uninterruptible power supply. We're going to use redundancy, meaning we're going to have a backup plan, right, in case the power goes out. Power transitions. Okay, so we got to create a closet. Let's start there. So the first thing we're going to do, again, we're learning as we go. Packet tracer. Give that a second. Every time. All right, so we're going to import this as the background. We're going to browse. Go up here. Our hospital floor project, we had this mapped out. There we go. All right. It's our hospital floor. So we're going to create a closet, right? We want to create a closet where we can house all this stuff. So I am actually going to use one of the patient rooms, right? Because you're going to have enough space. We can do it here, but I am going to use a corner room. That's just me. If the boss tells me otherwise, like see, these are general patient rooms. These all are marked. So I'm just going to use a patient room to put our equipment in. So I'm going to mark it as this. All right, so we're going to put that over here. All right, so that's going to be our IDF room. And what do we want to put in this room? I love Baroque music. Here's your fast, slow, fast motif. All right, where do we have this? Hospital deployment plan. Core distribution switch. We're going to need one Cisco. I feel like I'm baking a pizza here. These are the ingredients. We need one Cisco layer 3 switch, host name. So host name, see if, okay. So we need a Cisco layer 3 switch. So let's find this out. Cisco layer 3 switch icon look like on packet. Like, so I could go order one or ask for one. Let's go to images. Let's see if this will tell us. Layer 3 switch. I'm learning about the different kinds of switches. Multi-layer switch. Layer 3 switch. Okay. Now I'm starting to see something. That's a layer 2 switch. Okay, works on layer 2. That's going to be your Ethernet. Layer 3 works on layer, it's like almost like, sorry to say, PlayStations. It's backward compatible. So the layer 3 will work on both 3 and 2. Alright, layer 2 is fast, layer 3 is slow, but this will deal with MAC addresses, obviously layer 2, and this will deal with MAC and IP. One broadcast domain, multiple. This will deal with multiple broadcast domains. This only has switching capability. This is both switching and routing. Cheap, expensive. The hospital can foot the bill. So this is, I guess, a multi-layer switch. Let me go in. I'm assuming, remember I can order these. Layer 2 switch, okay, layer 3 switch. I'm just trying to get the icons down. Layer 3 switch. Here's what I'm gonna do. Just for fun, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this and see if I can superimpose it into the, whoops, that's the one I did. I'm going to X out of that. Okay, let's find the layer switch. Okay, so we want a layer 3 switch. Multi-layer switch. Okay, cool. Now remember, we can order those on Amazon from my boss. He can foot the bill. All right, I got to have a little fun when I'm doing this. So we have the multi-layer switch. What else do we need, children? Access switches. 2 Cisco. Okay, so 1 Cisco layer 3 switch. Host name, this switch will ask is the local routing boundary, maintaining as switch virtual interfaces for inter-VLAN traffic, right? And running ACLU. Access are 2 times Cisco 48 port access switches. Let's copy this and see what they look like. All right, these are switches, and I just got that. But let's go ahead and find out what the image looks like, okay? Because I wanted to see what the real equipment looks like, because we're going to be using that. Let's go back to old ChatGPT. All right. We'll go to Microsoft. Copilot. Why not use it? We're techies, right? Icon looks like on Cisco. And provide an image. See what we can do here. I'm human, but any bar, who knows? I think the Turing test. Which icon is the all right, so I guess we could just use this. Oh, 48 ports, that's what it is. I got you. Which all share the same icon. We'll use that one. We'll use that one for our switch because that's what it's telling me to do. All right, so we got the multi-switch here. There we go. Let's see if we got one with a 48 port. Actually, we can just stick a bunch of switches over here and see which one has the ports we need. You know, these might be general ports, but I want to have a little fun with it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I'm good enough for government work, but looking at the ports on the back, we won't worry about it too much. Just assume it's the 48 port. Alright. See how much time we have. Alright, so there's that and that. I'm going to stop there and call this one first two ports. Alright.